YouTube, new box. It's been fully leaked. It's on duellingsmeta.com. It's called Secrets of the Ancients. This is the Ancient Fairy Dragon box. These are all the ultras, the supers, the rares, and the commons. You guys are used to my box reviews where I give you, 2 to 3 videos. I think I could do this entire review in just one video. So just everything up front. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. We're going to talk about Junk Synchron, Armatus, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Trap Tricks, Gigantus, Magnets, Beast, Moja Deck, the Super Rares, Savage Coliseum, and other. So starting off, we're going to talk about the Trap Tricks plus Treacherous. Trap Tricks plus Treacherous. We decided that we could use that 4 times with the Trap Tricks. So the deck type is Trap Tricks Atrax, Trap Tricks Diane, and Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare. So on the website, you can type hole. Hole. Here are all the hole cards. So before we read the cards, you're going to use Treacherous Trap Hole, Floodgate Trap Hole, and likely Adhesion Trap Hole. Adhesion, it will reduce the monster's attack by half that's summoned. This will flip down. This will destroy 2. Now, the new Trap Hole added to the mix, which is a super rare. When a monster that was special summoned this turn activates its effect on your opponent's field, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card. So this could be pretty good against Retainer, for example. If they summon Retainer, they activate to a search, negate, and it gets banished. Okay? A whole card we already have is Void Trap Hole. When your opponent special summons a monster with 2,000 or more attack, negate its effects, and then you get to destroy it. So against Anki, you want to compare this with Trap Tricks Hole Nightmare. And, against Anki, the Void Trap Hole would be better. So it's kind of interesting going between these two. They're both situational. You decide which one you like. It's going to be dependent on the meta. But why are we using whole cards? We're using whole cards because of Super Rare Atrax and Super Rare Diane. Super Rare Atrax. This card is unaffected by the effects of whole normal trap cards. You could activate whole normal trap cards from your hand, and the activation of normal trap cards activated on your side of the field cannot be negated. So if they have a Wiz, you could activate your cards without being negated. Wiz is a top tier deck right now, tier 3. Diane. When this card is normal summoned, you could target a Trap Tricks monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in defense, so you could summon itself, or an Atrax. If this card is special summoned, and the way you're going to special summon is by special summoning itself, you could target a whole normal trap in your graveyard, set that card, but banish it during the end phase of your opponent's next turn if it's still on the field. So if you set it, and you don't use it by your opponent's turn, and then you don't use it by your turn, you have to banish it in your end phase. You can only use this effect once per turn. So the reason we're using whole cards because we could set them with Diane's effect, and we could also use them from our hand with Atrax's effect. So with Treacherous Trap Hole, we could use it 4 times in one duel. We could just activate it from the hand, destroy 2. We can then special summon Diane to reset Treacherous, then use it a second time. Then we could use Endless Trap Hell to shuffle it back in the deck so we have no more traps in the grave. So that allows us to use another Treacherous Trap Hole. That's 3 Treacherous Trap Holes. Then you could reset it from Diane. Now, you could actually use it a 5th time. If you have some way to recycle, I mean, that's Diane being special summoned twice, so this would be your 3rd one. But if you, for some reason, are playing like Powerful Rebirth or another way to summon Diane, you could keep using it. You could use it a 5th, 6th, or 7th time if you could keep summoning Diane without adding any other traps to the grave. But that's basically the Trap Tricks deck. You'll be playing 3, 3, and then a bunch of whole cards that you'll be activating from your hand and also reset with your Diane. Cool. Moving on, we will talk about Gigantes. Gigantes, level 4, cannot be normal summon / set. What do? You can only summon it by banishing an earth monster from your graveyard. If this card is destroyed by battle and sense of the graveyard, destroy all spell and traps in the field, 1900 attack, 1300 defense, level 4. So you're going to use this with the magnets. Magnet, Delta, Beta, and Gaia Plate. Gaia Plate, banish 2 rocks to summon, have the attack of any monster you battle with this. So rock, 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 rocks, Gigantus, magnets, Tri-Mid Pulse. You banish 2 rocks from the graveyard, destroy a face-up card in the field. You could also play Needlebug Nest to fill up that grave with your earth and rock monsters to have that synergy. With Tri-Mid Pulse, your Gaia Plate and your Gigantus. And it all leads up to a big Magna Warrior summon. You know how magnets work? That's how it works. So think about that with Gigantus. You could swing in, blow up their back row, then swing in with Delta and summon the Magna Warrior and then just go for lethal. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That is Gigantus, so think about it for magnets. Ancient Fairy Dragon plus Junk Synchron and Armades. Let's talk about Ancient Fairy Dragon. This is a generic level 7. It competes with the Power Tool Dragon slot because Power Tool Dragon can be summoned by any tuner and any non-tuner. It's just 2300 with no effect, 2500 defense, so I would prefer to use Ancient Fairy Dragon, 3k booty, 2100 attack. Once per turn, you could special summon a level 4 lore monster from your hand. You're not really going to use that effect. The effect you will potentially use, besides being a 3k booty, is destroy a field spell, then gain 1,000 life. Then you don't have to. You could search a field spell from your deck to your hand. So what is that good against? It's good against vampires, which is tier 1. You destroy their field spell. You search your own field spell, gain 1,000. With vampires, we could summon it with a card like Unknown Synchron. Okay, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monster, you could special summon this from your hand, tribute it with your Grace, or you could make a Synchro Shokan for your level summon Ancient Fairy Dragon. Another deck that you could use Ancient Fairy Dragon with, that we're going to lead into right now, is a Junk Synchron control deck. Junk Synchron, let's talk about this. It's all connected. These 3 ultra rares are all connected. You're going to want 3 Junk Synchrons. I'm sorry. It's ultra rare. It's going to be expensive. And it's good. It's really good. Level 3. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in defense, but its effects are negated. You're going to want to use this effect with, we're going to go to right here. We're going to click the skills. We're going to search right here. You could search the name or description. Verger. What grows in the graveyard? Begin the duel with 1 Dark Verger in your graveyard. What's a Dark Verger? Dark Verger, level 2, non-tuner. Its effect is not important whatsoever, but it's a level 2, and you summon it with Junk Synchron. This means that you could put Junk Synchron in any deck you want. Any deck you want, as long as you play the skill to summon Dark Verger from the grave. That's it. Literally, your Junk Synchron is an Armades in your deck. It's a normal summon Armades. This is level 5. Let's talk about this. Ultra rare. Level 5, 2300. This card's effect is, it's a slugger. It's a slugger. If you've played with or against slugger, it's the same attack, same effect. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. You guys know why it's so good. You know, all the back row cards. You can't activate back row cards with vampires. You can't activate Gazuki effect. You can't activate Silent Magician effect. You can't activate your Boojin effects. That's really bad against Boojins. You can't activate your Banished control effects. You can't use so many things when you declare an attack with your Armades, and it's 1500 defense, so it does not die to Canadia like Slugger does. Slugger dies to Canadia, and it does very often so. So with Dark Verger and Junk Synchron, any deck you play can pretty much normal summon a 2300 attack Slugger. I love it. This is really good. The best way to probably play this is a Banished control deck. Here's an example of a Banished control deck that's tier 3. Let's go to Banished control. Let's actually scroll to the bottom and see the latest deck built by a Banished control player. So you would play 3 Breaker, 3 DD Assailant probably, and then you would just play 3 Junk Synchrons. So basically you got back row removal, monster removal, and then you have the Junk Synchrons for Armades, which you could protect with your back row cards. So yeah, that's crazy. I'm excited for you guys to think of ways to summon Armades. And if you're playing it in that control deck, your Junk Synchron and Armades deck, you could also make an easy Ancient Fairy Dragon plus any of your level 4 monsters. Level 4 plus your Junk Synchron equals a Ancient Fairy Dragon, pop their field spell. Also, you could summon DD Assailants from your hand. Or you can use Junk Synchron, summon Dark Verger, plus a level 4, make a Gigantic Castle. Gigantic Castle, good stuff. Or you could do Armades plus your Junk Synchron to make a Stardust Dragon. There's so many synchro options in a control deck even. It's crazy. You could also make Junk Berserker. Junk Berserker, 2700 attack. On summon, or no, whenever you want, you could banish your Junk Synchron from the grave, then target a face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 1300 attack. And also, this destroys a monster that's in defense at the start of the damage step. That's crazy. So, yeah, top tier, Junk Synchron, Armades in any deck, and it also gives you the options for level 7s, level 9s, and even a level 8 Synchro. This, goddamn, Junk Synchron! Damn! Moja deck. What the hell is Moja? What's a Moja deck? It's a fun deck. It's not a good deck, but here's a level 1 Moja. When this card is destroyed by battle, you could add a level 4 from your graveyard to your hand, a level 4 beast. So what's going to be in your graveyard that you're going to search? You're going to search for Beast Striker. Once per turn, you could discard 1 card to special summon Moja from your deck. So you discard a card, you special summon Moja. If Moja dies, you could add this from your grave back to your hand. Why are you doing this though? To summon King of the Beasts. From your hand or graveyard, you could tribute a face-up Moja to summon this 2500 King of Beasts. And then you die to Anki. Beautiful. Love it. What's next? We have Gene Warped Wolf and Beast Rising. Gene Warped Wolf is a super rare card. And what does it do? It's just 2000 attack, has no effect, but you could use it with Beast Rising. Beast Rising Beatdown. Beast Rising Beatdown. Banish another Beast or Beast Warrior to gain its attack. This was pretty good back in the day with Hazy Flame. And now you could use it with Gene Warped Wolf being 2000 attack. You could also use it with Ape Fighter, which is from the box. It's a rare. 1900. It gains attack every time it destroys a monster by battle. And if it does not battle, it goes, its gain goes back to 0 gained. So something like this. But it's competing with... It's competing with Canine Tor, which we already have. It's competing with Berserk Gorilla. So is this what we needed to make Beast Rising Beatdown good? Probably not. Probably not. So moving on, we're going to look at Egotistical Ape. Egotistical Ape is right here. It's a rare card. Level 5. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by sending 1 beast type monster from your hand to the graveyard. When this card is special summoned, you could activate one of these effects. You could increase this level by the level of the monster you sent to the grave, or you could decrease its level by the monster you sent to the grave. So Egotistical Ape is a ton of synergy with low-level beast monsters. What's a low-level beast monster you're going to use with this? You could use it with the Mystical Beast cards. Mystical Beast deck type. That's right, you type Mystical Beast. This is the new one. These are the old ones we already have. So if you send the Fawn to the grave, then you can make your Egotistical, how big? Egotistical. You could send the Fawn to the grave. You could make him a level 3 tuner, or you could make him, it's optional to use its effect. He could be a level 5 tuner, a level 3 tuner, or a level 7 tuner. Then when he's either of those levels, you could then choose to Synchro Shokan for whatever you want. Goddamn. You can make a level 6 Synchro. You can make a level 8 Synchro. You can make a level 5 Synchro for Armades. Armades. Goddamn. So lots of options there. Interesting. Let's talk about this new card though. Valera Fawn, Mystical Beast of the Force. This is new. It's a level 2 tuner. You could discard a card, then target a level 2 or lower beast in your graveyard, and then special summon it. What are you going to use this on? You're going to use it on this card that we already have. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a beast, destroy any card on the field. This is also summoned with your Uniflora. So now Uniflora plus Fawn, you have 2 different cards to summon this from the grave, and then you get to destroy any card in the field. You're going to combo these 3 cards with Obedience Schooled. You're going to use Obedience Schooled with the Mystical Beast monsters. Level 2 tuner, level 1 monster, level 2 non-tuner. So 1 plus 2 plus 2 equals 5. 5 equals not Armadis. Armadis, whatever the hell his name is, because Obedience School requires you to only special summon beast monsters afterward, but you can make a Thunder Unicorn. Thunder Unicorn, what makes this card good? It's not that great, but it's kind of good. It's 2200 attack. Once per turn, you could reduce a monster's attack by 500 per monster you control. So if you control 3, reduce it by 1500, 2200, but then only he can attack. So maybe you got some combos there. Maybe. Later, you could use Egotistical Ape to potentially summon Armadis, okay? Also, with your beast deck, you could choose, besides playing Egotistical Ape as the tuner, potentially in that deck, you could also use it with the Baboons. Baboon, Gree-Bamboon. When your monster is destroyed, you could special summon this from your hand or graveyard by paying 1,000. These are really old. If your beast is destroyed by battle, you could remove from play 2 beast-type warrior monsters, especially summon this card from your hand. I don't really like this one. You'd probably use this one. 1,000 costs a lot, 2,600. Not really much you could do with this. You can make a Gigantic Castle with this plus the Fawn, though. Okay, Gigantic Castle is the 3,100. So you got options there. Another card you could also use it with is Super Rush Recklessly. You target a beast you control, and then one monster your opponent controls, you shuffle theirs in the deck, and you destroy yours. And when your monster gets destroyed, you get to summon Green Baboon. So that's monster removal, synchro. There's so many options with the beast. I don't know if it's all bad, but there's a lot of options, a lot of synergy with Obedience School and just the Mystical Beast combo, destroying any card in the field. So I'm a little excited for that. Also, you could potentially play Key Mouse with this deck. Key Mouse, maybe like a one-up tech to someone with Obedience School or something. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you could add 1 level 3 or lower beast type monster from your deck to your hand. So it could search. This card is also a tuner, level 1. It could search for all the mystical beast cards that you need. So if you have this in your hand, you could search for the Fawn, and then you could summon Fawn. You could discard this with Fawn's effect, then resummon it on the field. You discard, then summon it, destroy any card in the field. Dasting. Let's talk about the Berserker card. Berserking, continuous trap. Once per turn during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you could select 2 face-up monsters on the field that are beast type. Until the end of the turn, one of the selected monsters lose half of its attack, the other gain its attack. So with 2 of your own beast monsters, you attack, and then you suck up its attack into the other beast monster, and then you do another attack. But you could select your opponent's beast monsters. Well, what can you do with that? You could do DNA surgery. DNA surgery. Goddamn, turn their monsters into beasts, and then you can mess them up with berserking. It's YouTube, but whatever. Cool. Moving on. Ally Justice of Light Gazer. You compare this with Stardust Dragon. If they have at least 1 light monster in their graveyard, it gains 200 per light, and so it'd be 26 bigger than Stardust. Otherwise, this card really sucks. It just gains 200 for every light monster in your opponent's graveyard. So moving on, let's talk about Trident Warrior. Trident Warrior. Level 4, when this card is normal summon, you could special summon 1 level 3 monster from your hand. You're going to use this with Delta Flyer, which is also super rare. Once per turn, you could select 1 other face-up monster you control and increase its level by 1. So Delta Warrior plus Delta Flyer. 4 plus 3 equals a level 7 Synchro Shokan. Or you could summon a Stardust Dragon. So it's like, you know, whatever you want. You want Stardust Dragon plus the Trident Warrior? There you go. Trident, Delta equals level 7 or level 8. That's the combo Trident Warrior. Now, some people, I think XB8 had the idea to use it with Violence. Use it with Violence Sigma, level 7. When this card declares an attack, you can equip it with a card. You equip it with the Twin Swords, attack twice. Equip it with the Mage Power, gain 1500 attack. Equip it with a goddamn Big Bang Shot, so you could deal piercing damage. And you're using it with Cube. There's a goddamn Cube. Cube. So there you go. And you get to search an equip card. Good stuff. The combos. Moving on from that, we just talk about the super rare cards. Every other card pretty much sucks in this set. I guess it's worth mentioning Powered Inzektron. This is a generic. It's 2,500 on summon. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. So if there's a 2,500 attack monster you want to suicide into, a Grace plus field spell, you could suicide into it with this. Maybe. It does compete with Gravity Warrior, though. Gravity Warrior, if they have at least 2 monsters, is simply better, I believe. Yes, with 1 monster, Inzektron is better, but with 2 monsters, Gravity Warrior is better. So you figure out what you want between those 2. Everything else is no good. The super rare cards, no thank you. No thank you. These work with insects, they're not good. I'm not here to waste your time. I just talked about all the relevant stuff. We could talk about Savage Coliseum real quick. Savage Coliseum plus Yubel. Your opponents must attack if able. During the end phase, destroy all face-up attack position monsters that did not declare an attack. So there you go. Trying to force them to swing into your Yubel. It's not that great, though. It's a field spell. It would destroy your own field spell. It's just worth mentioning. Some people might make something funny with this. Maybe. And then the rest of the rares and normals suck. That's it. That's the box. Boom.